Okay. So I've started the recording. So how were your exams? Done well in your exams? This was the very first experience giving an online half-yearly exam. A first ever experience for everyone. So today's class, we will start with the first half of our class. We will start with discussing the question paper. I will not be revealing the marks. We will only be discussing question papers so you know where you stand. And second thing which we are going to do is we are going to start with a new chapter. Now, you have only two chapters left in your computer. One is your introduction to XML and one is societal impacts of IT. So introduction to XML. XML is extended markup language, which is a short extension of HTML, and that we don't have in very great detail, right? So XML is just used as a data storage mechanism. So how it is used, what is its use in computers, okay? What is its use in web page designing, website designing? Short introduction is given, so we are only going to stick to that, and we will start with this after we have discussed the question paper. So we will start with our question paper discussion first. I'm just going to open Google Drive. So here we are. Now class 10C, you had a completely different paper, okay? Because I had taken their exams earlier, so their paper is different, and those who are in class 10th A, B, or C, okay, they had a completely different paper. So those students of 10C who are here in my class, okay, please don't get bothered by this. You can just sit and watch it, okay? You'll get an idea about questions. So this is only for students of class 10th D and E. Question number. So question number 1. Dash is used to transmit information to on the World Wide Web. What is the correct answer here?
HTTP.
HTTP. Yes, correct answer is HTTP. Second, a web address is also called a
URL.
URL.
yes. Third one. Please keep your microphones switched off under all circumstances, students. It causes unnecessary disturbance here. Yes, third one. Answer is network. A network shares hardware, software, and data. Fourth one. Quickly, just go on giving me the
Connection.
answers.
Dial-up connection.
Dial-up connection. Yes. Fifth one.
Internet
IM,
messaging.
instant
Yes,
messaging.
instant messaging. Sixth one.
Cookies.
Cookies.
Yes, cookies.
DSL broadband.
Yes, she would need a DSL broadband would be good for her because firstly her requirement is proper, cost-effective, fast internet connection that doesn't suffer from frequent disconnection. In 4G WiMAX, there are problems of frequent disconnections. Okay, ISDN is an obsolete internet connection type. So the best option is an uninterrupted DSL broadband, that to fiber to the node, which is cost effective because it is not fully fiber network, right? It's a combination of fiber and copper cables. So there is no underlying, the same thing which Airtel Extreme Fiber is offering us. Okay, so that is why it is the most cost effective. So this is a hot question. That is a higher order thinking skill question, where you have to think about the alternatives, think about the requirements of a person and suggest the most suitable type of internet connection. Eighth question.
Ma'am,
Blog.
blog.
Log. Ninth.
Date of birth.
Date of birth.
Yes, date of birth, which will contain everything, days, months and years. 10th one.
Auto number.
Answer is both A and B. Text and memo, they both allow alphanumeric characters and special symbols. Okay. 11th.
Ma'am, creating by entering data.
Create table using wizard. Field type and size, you can even provide it during entering data. But when you are creating table using wizard, you cannot do that. Some of the field properties you can even set in the data sheet view. I had demonstrated this also. Okay, but in the wizard option, you cannot do that. 12th.
Relationships.
Yes, it is not a data. It is not a database object as such. Okay. 13th. We had studied this long back. It might not be given in your book, but I had taught you. Lookup wizard, if you remember, it provides a drop down list of values. Now question number 14 to 16 have to be answered using the table student. Okay, which field can act as primary key?
Roll number.
Roll number.
Roll number. The best is roll number. What is the data type of the field date of birth and date of admission?
Date and time.
Yes. Correct answer is date type. Phone number field is defined as text data type. Question number 16.
Ma'am, both A and B.
Yes, both A and B. Now question number 17 again, based on this table. State the primary key field.
Student ID.
Yes. Which field property will you use for changing format of start date into the form Monday, October 1, 2012?
Default value.
Format.
Yes, answer is format. Okay. Which data type will you use to display fees with comma separator and currency symbol?
Currency.
Currency. Question number 20. Read it carefully and answer. Answer is input mask, where you create a placeholder. Okay, you can create CC, and for ST you can just insert any character symbol which you need. Okay, then a dash, then 0000, right? So this way you can do it. Next is again question number 21 to 24 are based on this table. So first is identify the field property for type of account. Type of account, which all field properties are you going to change? Come on. Answer is second option. Size 1, required yes. Possible value means data validation. So this is the data validation rule. Okay. Next, which field property is used for setting automatic value, city name for address?
Default value.
Yes, default value. Question number 23.
Balance account.
Yes.
Balance amount.
Yes, correct. 24.
Operational.
Yes, whether operational or not. The body tag is usually used after.
Head.
Yes, it's after head. Next, 26. Question number 26. Very easy it is. Answer is third one. BG color text. Here you can see BG color. There is a space between BG and color. Here it is text color, which is wrong. Here it is back color, which is wrong. Okay. Question number 27. First one.
OL type RAM.
First one. UL type circle. There is no value with name round. Correct HTML tag for the smallest heading is?
H6.
Yes, correct. Question number 29. HTML code for the following outputs. I'll just tell you the code. It is the second option. There is a slight error in all the other options. Okay, let's check out what is that slight error. You might not be able to see the screen very clearly. So I'm just going to open that for you. Wait a sec. Did I delete that? Let me check. Yeah, I might have deleted that. Fine, no problem. Okay. So the first one, there is a slight difference over here. If you could just see it. UL type I. So here you can see very well. You might have seen it. Okay. Just a sec. I'll just open it separately. It is question number 29. Yes. So outer list, all the three lists which are there, they are what? OL. That is ordered list, right? You can see the option over here. The first option is UL type equals I. I'm just going to increase it. You can check UL, which is wrong. Okay. Second one also, somewhere you will find there is a problem or an issue. Let's see which one we have an issue. This one is wrong because you have UL over here. So obviously second option is the correct option. So second option is the correct option. Next is question number 30. All elements are identified by their dash.
Tag name.
Yes, tag name. HTML is a subset of, very easy, SGML.
SGML.
How can you make a bulleted list with numbers? OL tag. Which tag is used to insert a foreground image in an HTML page? IMG tag.
IMG.
Okay. Now, there is a hot question again. Given the following table, select the most suitable HTML code for cell content with item picture as computer. What should be the HTML code? Answer is the third one. First one, you can see TD row span 2 and only this image has been given without any scaling of the picture, without any resizing the picture. So that is wrong. Second one, row span has been used within the TR tag, which is wrong. Fourth one is call span has been used, which is incorrect, hence the third one. What will be the code to create the first row in the following table? Tell me, come on, students. The first row will consist of which values? A and B.
Third one.
Third.
Okay, I did one mistake over here. The mistake was, yes, third one, you can take it because I also did a mistake. It should contain call span also for B. TD call span equals to, I missed out on that. But if you have ticked the third one, it is correct. Okay. 36. What is the correct HTML code for inserting background image? Answer is third one, body background. Okay. 37. Size of image can be modified using height and width. In the given table, what would be the content of the first row? Very simple question.
Ma'am, second option.
Yes, second option. Day, class, 1, 2, 3, lunch break, 4th and 5th. 39th.
Second one.
Name. Yes. And the last question. First one.
Ma'am, first one.
Okay. So I hope all your doubts are cleared. I'll take the attendance and we will start with today's actual class. Okay. So today we are going to start with
My
Excel.
marks.
Marks I won't show right now. Only when we get some instructions from above, then only I'll be able to show the marks. Okay.
Ma'am, our social teacher has shown us already in our previous class.
Okay, but still I'm waiting for an official instruction. Okay.
Ania also told.
Huh?
Ania also
Animemes?
told that we will get the marks today.
Okay, sure. Then I'll show it to you. Don't worry. I'll release the marks. And when I release the marks, you will automatically get it in your email. Okay, the email address, if you have entered the correct Gmail address, you will be able to get it. If you have entered your this Microsoft email, then you will have to check your Outlook account. Okay, Outlook, MS Outlook email client. For that, there you might have got, but most people don't know how to use that Outlook. So in that case, then I'll need to, you will be notifying me and I will be sending it to you separately. Okay, that is the reason why I will tell you to enter the correct Gmail address. So when I release it, you will get an email. Check your email. You will get marks, scores will be displayed there, and there would be a link, view. Click on view so you can see your evaluated sheet, which answer was correct, which was incorrect, and all that, right? Okay, so we come to Introduction to XML, which is chapter 7. I'll just show you a glimpse of that chapter also. This is chapter 7. This I will be sending in the group today, so you can download this book. You can study from there, right? So, so we have this introduction to XML. Let me see why is this. Okay. So what is XML? First of all, it is an extensible markup language. It is a subset of SGML, that is standard generalized markup language. Just like HTML is also a subset of SGML, right? And XML is also a subset of SGML. It was defined by ISO 8879, which is a standard given to it, which provides standards for creating markup documents. It was released in the late 1990s. Standard to store data. The basic functionality of this is storing data. Okay, data storage is the main requirement or the main purpose of XML. Why? It is used by various web applications and HTML documents, right? You have HTML, you have some HTML web pages or websites which are static. Some websites are static websites and some are dynamic websites. What are static websites? Those where the content doesn't change. Okay, the content which you saw yesterday, after 5 to 10 days also the same content would be there. Normally it is created by some students. Okay, it might be a website of a school or a small institute, or it could be a small blog which is unupdated, which you had created sometime and then you didn't get time to update it. So the content remains the same. Okay, it never changes. But when we talk about dynamic websites, these days most websites which you see, they are dynamic websites. Why? Because their content keeps changing every time, right? And that content keeps changing only because there is an associated data backup somewhere which is acting up. Okay, so that data backup provides the ever changing data to your websites and the web applications. It is an easy and standardized way to store self-describing data. Text-based markup language used for document containing structured information. So these are a few points out of which I would like you to write a few points in your copy. That is the first point. Second point, this fifth point and the sixth point. Please write these 4 points in your copy right now. Yes, students, written. Please just give me one confirmation that you have done it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A few more confirmations if I get, I will proceed to the next.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let me tell you one very important thing about XML. That is, XML is totally user defined. Hint I will give you, that is, you can create your own tags in XML. Okay, you will be creating your own tags in XML. HTML contained a predefined set of tags, okay, which we had to use. We had to learn them and we had to use them. But XML contains a predefined group of tags. Sorry, XML doesn't contain any predefined group of tags. You can create your own tags, but XML is bit stricter when it comes to certain rules. Like XML is case sensitive, whereas HTML was not case sensitive. Now in HTML, some tags are open, some are closed tags. In XML, all the tags are container tags. Okay. In HTML, some tags were empty tags, some were container tags, whereas in XML, all tags are container tags. So these few differences we will be seeing now. XML versus HTML allows us to create custom tags. That is, we can create our own tags in XML. HTML contains a predefined set of tags. No predefined set of rules or tags. Predefined set of rules are used. XML provides a facility to define tags and structural relationships between them. No facility to define new tags. Whatever is provided to you, I had already told you that HTML provides you very limited options. If you have to customize your web page, you have to use CSS along with it. Okay. Whereas in XML, you can create new tags, you can describe the relationship between those tags also. XML specifications can be extended to create new markup languages. Syllabus of your textbook right now. Okay, we won't be creating any new markup language. We will only use XML to create structured data. Okay, HTML cannot be extended. Focus on describing structure of data. Here focus is on displaying the data on the browser. How data would be displayed. Let me tell you one thing. HTML works more as a front end. That is front desk. In a hotel, if you visit a hotel, you might have seen that there is a front desk where a very beautiful, smart, okay, receptionist or a hotel manager is sitting there. Okay, or a customer relationship officer is sitting there and she greets you with a very wide smile, a sweet smile, and would ask you your preferences, right? Everything. So that is why a usually girl or beautiful lady is made to sit there, because it's all about visuals. Okay, that is, people would definitely prefer seeing a nice, what to say, a good looking personality or a good looking woman to be sitting there. Even men are given less preference when it comes to some jobs related to front desk or front office or receptionist. You might have seen that in 90% of the places. I'm telling the truth, okay? There is nothing to laugh or feel awkward about it. It is 90% of the places you might have seen that receptionists or front desk officials or front desk executives, they are mostly women, and that too urban women who have a definite sense of dressing, who have a definite sense of style, who are good looking, who have a good physical appearance. Understood? So those people are, even if you check the ads also, there also they prefer good looking people, right? And all the people who are not very presentable, but they are quite intelligent, they will always be working in the back office. So XML is more of a back-end work. Storage of data. Data को कहाँ store कर रहे हैं? Like storehouse. If there are some goods or what to say, if there is a shop or a nice shop or anything, so all the inventory would be stored somewhere in the back. Okay, or we talk about the warehouse or a go down where all the things are stocked up. Okay, so that becomes your back end. Whereas in the front end, you would be greeted with a nice 7-Eleven store where everything is stocked in shelves in a very nice, presentable manner. Okay, so you visit any shopping mall or you visit any store, you will see everything is in a very nice, visually attractive, visually appealing manner. तो जो चीज आपको दिखाना है वो क्या हो जाएगा? फ्रंट एंड हो जाएगा. और जहां पे स्टोरेज की बात आती है वो बैक एंड हो जाता है. Right. So XML, when you display XML on a browser, you won't get a very good display there. Okay, there is nothing to display in XML. It is only made for carrying data, for storage of data. This data which can be used later by any HTML website or any website using some other server-side language like PHP, ASP, JSP, and so on. Okay, used by it can be used by some other web applications created using Python, Ruby, and other different types of such development softwares, right? So XML is only used as a backend. Can be properly viewed only if proper style sheet is attached to it. When I talk about style sheet, students, I am talking about what? CSS. Only when you have used CSS, you can easily you can view XML a little better than what it actually is displayed. Okay. Whereas in HTML, web page created opens in a browser window. You can use CSS for extra customization. You may not. That is completely dependent upon you. In XML, it separates the data from HTML document, which keeps on changing frequently. So XML does all the backend work. That is, it keeps on storing the data. It is basically used for storing the data which HTML can use. HTML doesn't identify data elements separately. It is only used for the purpose of display. Hence, XML helps user to modify the web page content without changing the HTML document. So you have created a front end. You don't want to change the front end. You only want to change the content. आपको डिजाइन में कुछ चेंज नहीं करना है, कोडिंग में चेंज नहीं करना है. All you have to do is just go on adding or deleting data from XML, and that will automatically be reflected on your website. HTML doesn't contribute in modifying the HTML document dynamically. So this is the difference between XML and HTML. XML does most of the backend data storage work, whereas HTML does the work of display on the web browser. I will be sharing these differences with you. This is very important, students. You may get it as a long answer or you may get some, because this year, now it completely depends upon the situation. If we ever, there are talks that now in the newspapers, you might be reading that from 15th October, schools are to be reopened, but we have been hearing this from since August. Okay. So whenever, if suppose the schools ever reopen for you people, maybe for 10th and 12th, they would. So you, and if you get a proper exam, a school-based exam, so it might come as a long answer question. And if you have a full MCQ based, so you just have to understand them and you may get questions related to that. Features of XML. First is it is extensible. It is a meta language designed to describe data, usable for carrying data, self-descriptive, platform independent. So these all are features. Let's see the features in detail. Extensible, No predefined set of tags in HTML, like HTML. You won't get any predefined here. आप अपने tags खुद बनाओगे. Like I said, you will be creating your own tags. Can be used to store structured information. It is a meta language. Can be used for creating other markup languages for some specific domains. Again, this is out of bounds right now, as per our syllabus is concerned. It is designed to describe data, focuses on the structure of data, usable for carrying data. That is, if you want to carry the data along with HTML document, you can use this. Stores data in a structural way. This structured data can be used by a variety of different applications. XML does not do anything on its own. It will only store the data. How to extract the data, it will completely depend upon that application. If you are creating an application in Java, so your Java coding is going to extract data from XML. Okay, XML cannot do anything on its own, right? It just helps to carry information from one platform or program to another. Self-descriptive gives liberty to web designer to describe his own tags. Easy for user to create XML document. No prior knowledge of predefined set of tags are needed. It is platform independent, created using standard text files, can be easily used on any platform without making any major changes, easy to exchange information across different platforms. Let us see the XML document structure. So XML document always begins with a root, as you can see over here, and that too within angular brackets. Okay, because I told you, you can create your own tags, your very own tags in XML. Then within the root, you can have a child, subchild, subchild 1, subchild 2, child close, root close. So you can just see that it is almost similar to HTML. Just like in HTML, you started it with HTML and you had to close it also with HTML. Okay. You had started with a head tag. Within the head tag, you had opened a title tag and my web page, something you type here, and you close the title tag, right? And then you close the head tag. Then you open the body tag. Okay, you write something here, close the body tag. Now all these tags are what? They are predefined. Predefined, that is, आपको याद करना पड़ेगा. You cannot write HTML as HTLM, right? It has to be HTML only. You cannot write head as something else, hair. Okay, you cannot change the tags. But in XML, you can create your very own tags. This is just an example which I have given you. Now, here also, you will always start with a root. HTML XML document always starts with a root, which is your, you can say, a parent which doesn't have a parent, right? The very first person, right? And then a child. Child can contain subchild, subchild 1, subchild 2, subchild 3, and so on. And then finally the root is closed. So you can see that the way in which root has been opened, it has to be closed in the way, right? Don't get confused. Right now, what I want you to do is just note down this XML document structure in your copy. And then we will start with some exam. First, we will go through some rules and then we will start playing on it. That is, we will start with some easy examples. Okay. Please note down this. Don't note down the HTML structure. You already have that, only this part. And we will see one example of this.
Done. I'm done.
Okay. Let's see one
I'm done.
example. Okay, fine. Just a sec. Let's see one example. Just going to open the whiteboard. Now watch very closely here. What I'm going to do is, student. Student can contain certain attributes like student name, student class, section, marks. 4 things are there, right? And the value. Student name, I can just take Rakshit Verma. He is a student. Class, I can take, suppose he studies in 8th class. Section, he's in section A and he got 80% marks. 80 marks. Another student, Avni Joshi, she is a student of class 9th B and she got 75 marks. So here what you can see in student is what? It's the root. And these S name, S class, section, marks, they are child or children. This is one child, this is a child, this is a child, this is a child. And S name, class, section, marks among each other, they are siblings. भाई आप में देख लो, you have your parents and you might have your brother or sister. So your brother or sister would be what? Your sibling. Understood? So these S name, S class, section, marks, they are what? Siblings. And within that, these are the actual data values. Hence, they fall under what? Content. भाई S name किसी का भी हो सकता है. कुशाग्र Kumar can be an S name. Meet Chauhan can be an S name. Okay, that is student name, right? Jigyasa Chaturvedi is a student, so that is a student name, right? So all these are values. These are the actual data values, just like you had studied in MS Access. Okay, S name, S class, section, marks. How did you specify them? You had specified them as field names. Here you are specifying them as children of the root. Understood? And this data value was specified in the form of records, individual data values. So they are what? Content, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to write an XML code to represent this information. We will see how XML is used to represent this information. Now, let's start with it. So I'm just going to, I want you all to either take a screenshot of this or you can draw it quickly in your copy so that we can start writing the code. I'm starting with the code here. You will open it using, आपको अभी फिलहाल तो और कुछ नहीं करना है. You have to just start it. I'm opening it using student. Now remember one thing, students, XML is case sensitive. So now that if you are writing student like this, where S is capital, you have to close it also with S capital. Understood? If you are writing student as like this, and if you are closing it like this will be wrong. ऐसा HTML में चलता था. HTML was not case sensitive, but XML is case sensitive. And you have to make sure that the tag which is being opened, it is closed also at the same time. Understood? जिस tag को open किया है उसी को close भी करना है. Got it? Now within student you have S name. So I will create S name. So I am keeping S capital and name small. So this is what S name. Now over here, because I have Rakshit Verma as one student, so I will try to collect all his data, right? पहले मुझे उसका पूरा data डालना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. So first student is what? Is Rakshit Verma, right? So I'm going to write here Rakshit Verma. And I will close S name after this. Then I have class. So I have S class. His class is what? 8th. Now I will close class also. Next is section. Section I've written in small. When I actually type it in the next class, you will understand it better. So section. And finally, marks. 80 marks. So ये हो गया first student, right? And I will close it. 1 second. Let me just. I will close the tag also. So this becomes my very first student. We will continue this discussion in the next class. Okay. So that's all in today's class. In the next class, we are going to just move forward.